Anuradha ji, go ahead.
Just to let you know, I found my answer from Swamiji, Pujya Swamiji.
Yeah, please please tell the question and tell the answer also.
Okay. My question was that who is the one getting the freedom or moksha, whatever you call it? So the thinking behind it was that Paramatma doesn't need any moksha, and it's the Jivatma that is looking for the moksha. So the question was that does this body, mind, and all that, like, does this the Jivatma that gets moksha? So the answer, what I got from Pujya Swamiji from chapter 9, mantra number 4 and 5, Matsthani Bhutani, Sarva Bhutani, and then the Nachas. And there he's saying very clearly that there is only one, and the self is looking for the self. So, like how we sometimes create the higher I and the lower I. So he's saying, no, 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 do not divide that I. I is only one.
Yeah, so I is only one. So then who is the person wanting moksha? Because that also is there. There is a person who says, I am suffering and I am bound.
Yeah, that's the self. And because the self, when he's like, when for some reason comes to this life and for ignorance, and then he doesn't know that he is what he's looking for. So it
Right.
is the Jivatma who
Right.
gets the.
Correct. So Atma has no individuality, but when Atma is manifest as any body, any being, then that being, in the case of a human being, is given a mind,
It
which
thinks.
it has the ability, it has the capacity to conclude about anything in this world, including the self,
Yeah.
including I, and but that conclusion is wrong. Is wrong.
That, yeah.
For the historical reasons, it is wrong. Okay. And so the wrong concluding person wants moksha. Okay. And body
Yes.
is not asking for moksha because body is jadam.
Body is anatma.
Body is anatma. Body doesn't
Yeah.
know it. Body doesn't
Yeah.
know it is body.
Yeah.
Only there is a person behind the body that says, I have a body, etc. I have a male body, female body, etc. And so that I, which can't even be the mind, Shastram says, okay, there is an I that's using the mind, just like using the eyes, etc., using the body, using the hands.
And because of ignorance.
And so that ajnanam has to be brought in, has to be brought in.
Yeah.
That entity, the minute Atma is manifest in this body, the mind, then it is given all these faculties. And now, what are you going to? There is somebody who is owning up these faculties. It's not like
Yeah. Avatar.
all these faculties are running around operating independently. I is operating independently. Ears operating. No, no, no. Fortunately, there is that. Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi Shariram Rathamevatu. They are not independent. Atma is not independently manifesting. It is manifesting, manifesting, but with one controller. One guy who's controlling. Atmanam rathinam vidhi, shariram rathamevatu, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, etc. We saw that. The fortunately, there is a control. And that guy says, I am suffering. I am suffering.
Yeah.
Therefore, I want to be free. That guy. And that guy has an individuality, obviously, because there's another individual who says life is good. And I'm saying I'm suffering. Somebody else says, no, there's no suffering in this world. It's all in your mind. That guy gives me a
Yeah.
piece of advice. It's all in your mind. And that makes me further suffer because he makes it sound simple and I can't bring that simple joy. Okay, anyway. So that entity then is what we refer to as the Ahankara, Jiva, Chidabhasa. All these are similar words used to highlight one particular aspect. If you want to highlight consciousness, you use the word Chidabhasa. If you want to highlight Kartrutvam and Bhoktrutvam, you use the word Ahankara. Correct? If you want to highlight the karma aspect, you say Karana Shariram. If you want to highlight the moving Atma, you say Sukshma Shariram and Karana Shariram. So these are all contextual words, meaning the same guy. Finally, the heroine of this body is the Jiva,
The self.
who
Yeah.
says suffering. If you say you're suffering, then you can't but ask for moksha. Yeah, nobody wants to suffer. And so, yeah, so that's the way
And
I
that also proves the Ajatavad. That's what I find.
Ajatavad.
Because Ajatavad, because if it is the ignorance, and once the
So tell your friends what Ajatavada is. What do you mean by that?
oh, Ajatabada is that there is no born, like nobody is taking birth, and so of course if nobody takes birth, then nobody dies. So that's called the Ajatabada. That came from Mandukya Upanishad. And Gaurapada is saying the Ajatabada. And so that means that when you realize that you are the self, then you know that you were not born. Like that is ignorance. That body, that mind that you thought, that's like not there.
I am the essence of all the birth and death and all the change that is happening. Change is happening. Body is born, no doubt. But that is not Atma, like that Mandukya
That's
says.
mithya. Mithya.
Hmm.
That's you have to know that these are all mithya.
Good. So that's a good question. The sense. Who wants moksha? Then I'll ask the
And
question. I'll ask the question. Who is asking the question? You answer that question first. Then I'll answer your question. Who is asking the question?
I.
So that means we have to spend some time thinking about who am I? Who's this I? Who is
Yeah.
who's attending classes?
Yeah.
Who's the guy who
It
wants food?
it only comes through nididhyasanam. Only like
Good,
that suddenly that little I vanishes and
good analogy. Thank you. So you I suppose since your question yesterday, you went back to the notes.
yeah, because I like whenever this thing happens, I can't wait for next week or when the next Gita class. I will die by then. I need answer now. Sorry.
So
That's how I am.
you were disappointed yesterday when I said, okay, sure, ask.
Yes, yes. So anyway.
Okay, Swapna.
Um, you used two words. Uh, I, I I just wanted some clarification. Drishtantaha and Dashtantaha. Is that what you said?
Correct, correct.
So,
So, Drishtanta means example or illustration.
mm,
Dashtantaha means that which you want to explain by using this Drishtanta.
oh, okay.
That concept or idea or thing that you want to explain by giving an example, this Drishtanta is called Dashtanta.
Okay. Okay.
So
So,
if so if I want to explain, somebody has not seen what a reindeer, doesn't know reindeer, what a reindeer is. And how do you explain? How do you explain? You have to say, have you seen a deer? And say, yeah, I've seen a deer. Okay, all right. What color is the deer? Typically brown in color with some white stripes, etc. Okay, all right. Like that, that's an example. The Drishtanta. Dashtanta still remains reindeer. So that is the connection.
so here, summarizing this mantra, the example is the fire is present in all the kinds of fuel, like log, gas, whatever. Has the element of fire. And the same uh, Atma is in every being. That is the that is the uh, Drishtanta and Dashtanta, right?
So
But
yeah.
they goes beyond saying Atma is outside. So so Atma encompasses everything. There's just one Atma that is.
So the exact see, there has to be between Drishtanta and Dashtanta, there has to be similarities. Without similarities, there's no example, right? Some similarities must be there. Okay. What is the similarity between Agni and Atma in this example? Ekaha Agni, Ekaha Atma. Ekaha Agni, Ekaha Atma. Agni Tattvam is Ekaha, only one Agni Tattva. Number two, Agni is all pervasive. That similarity has to be brought in. Agni Tattvam is there everywhere. Heat is there everywhere. You may not feel it. You may say it is cold, but cold also has Agni Tattvam. You may say ice, there's no fire in the ice. Yeah, it is okay. But fire Tattvam is there in the ice also. So that Ekaha, Bhahischa also is there in the example also. All pervasiveness is there for fire. That similarity has to be brought in. Okay. And then the other similarity is okay, physically I'm able to recognize fire. Yeah, only in these fires, physical fires, you can recognize the fire. That also is similarity. Because only in living beings I can recognize. I say Atma is there in that living being. As though Atma is not there outside the living being. So that's the similarity. Every fire, every piece of fire is every human being or every living being. Correct? So the similarity is there between Agni and Atma.
Mm.
Atma is the support of Agni. You don't bring that here. You should not bring that idea here at all. Because Agni is used as an example for
Yeah,
Atma.
yeah. That's
So
yeah, yeah.
that part you leave it out. So the message from this must be just like Agni is all pervasive, Atma also is all pervasive. But just like even though all pervasive, it appears to show up only in certain places. Like fire appears to show up only in certain, wherever there is fuel, only you see fire. So wherever there is a living being, only you see Atma. That's all example.
So Bahishcha, what does that mean?
It means it is there.
It is outside also, right?
Yeah, it is all pervasive. What does it say here? Tatha ekaha sarva bhutantaratma. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bhaashyam is another word that is not there for Agni. For Agni, it was not there. Correct?
Yeah,
Bhaashyam
yeah.
not said. Correct.
Right. Right. Yeah, that is what threw me off actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can add within brackets Bhaashyam means and somewhere in the Drishtanta that idea must be there. Bhaashyam idea must be good observation. Otherwise, the
Dhanyavadaha.
example is not useful.
Yeah.
Otherwise, is not the example is not useful.
Yeah. Yeah. While talking to Anuradha ji, you just now mentioned ask yourself who is attending the class. I have to.
Yeah. It has the body attending the class, mind is attending class, or what? Yeah, that's it. I think that is the answer to the question. One type of answer to the question. Yeah. Who is the karta? Who is the bhokta? Body is not enjoying anything. Body is not suffering at all. Body goes through experiences. Somebody has to be there to say that, to reveal that experience the experience, and then make some judgments out of that.
Right.
Yes, Ramana's,
Dhanyavadaha.
who is asking the question?
Yeah. Ramana Maharshi.
Any question you ask him, who is asking the question, you check up that, he will say.
Correct. Ramana Maharshi. Popular.
Finally, it comes to who am I all the time.
Correct. Yeah, Prasad. Go ahead.
So yeah, actually thinking through what Anuradha has mentioned earlier, I think it depends upon where I am standing, and it is necessary, right, to probably Swamiji's, they stand on consciousness, so they think, I mean, that's the only thing. But if I am standing on body, if my stand is on body, that thinking that I am the body, then I consciousness is important for me, because that is like you defined already. If I consider it as ahankara, there is a relation with ahankara to the body. That is why we have to think about karma. It is what is born out of that is karma, right? So I have to think I am not yet enlightened. So I am this I consciousness, which is, let's say, my ahankara. So there is a relation between this I consciousness and the body that is born out of the karma. Similarly, then I have to think about the relation between I consciousness, which is ahankara, with, if I call it as Sakshi, the pure consciousness, which is beyond me right now, then it is Brahma, which is ignorance, what we have to learn through Vedanta. So presently for me, I consciousness has to be there. So small I, big I, whatever we call it. So that's why it depends upon, for me, where I am standing right now. If I am standing at my body level, which thinks that I am body, mind, sense complex, then it makes, you have to think like ahankara, whatever it is, I consciousness. So if I go to, for example, when Amandukya, for example, where I am already enlightened, so I am ekanta patyaya saram. So I am that I consciousness, which is nothing but that pure consciousness, satyam jnanam anantam brahma. So both has to be there for me to understand till that point. Then I can throw out even Vedanta also, that which has been said already here. That's my thinking.
So, what you're saying is that when I'm ignorant, I think of myself as the body.
Yeah.
When I'm
That's
exposed to the
true I
Shastra,
Satsang.
then I know that body, I'm not the body. I'm a lot more than the body.
Yeah.
And you get insights into what that lot more than the body is, which is the Atma. Yeah, that's
Because when I look at a mirror, my reflection is there in the mirror, but my face is the reality. But till that time, there is a relation between the mirror and the reflected face. So that's born out of my karma, similar to my body and the I consciousness, which is ahankara or a jivatma, whatever we call it.
The reflection and your face is never the same.
yeah, taking the reflection to be the real thing is a mistake.
Yeah.
It is tempting to take the reflection is useful. The reflection is useful. Why it is useful? In the mirror exam, it's useful. Like, we all have a mirror. That's why we have a mirror at home. It's useful, no doubt. And the study of the Shastrams, they use the Darpanam as an example, right? Very, very beautiful it is. Because the Shruti is likened to the mirror. Shruti is like the mirror. And the Shruti is supposed to show me my true nature by showing a mirror at me. They even say, right? Show mirror. Did you look at yourself in the mirror or something else?
Yeah.
So, supposed to show. So, when I look at the mirror, I'm not really committed to the mirror. I'm not committed to the mirror at all. I'm looking at my reflection in the mirror. But it looks as though I'm looking at the mirror. But I'm not really committed to the mirror. I am concerned about the mirror only when the mirror is dirty, only when it is not showing, when it is curved and all that, all these curvatures are coming. Then only I'm concerned, oh, what happened? I have to clean it, whatever, something happened. But if that is not the case, my commitment is not to the mirror at all. Very amazing it is. So that is what you said. We throw the Vedanta also is thrown out. What is the meaning of that? A mirror is thrown out. Thrown out means not there in your thing at all. You are not committed to the mirror. You use the mirror and then give up the mirror.
Yes.
Very interesting. Yeah, Meera and Narayan.
Guruji, I was just thinking about this Agni Bahishta
Hmm.
being present outside. Is it because we can say that Agni came from Akasha? Agni to Vayu, Vayu to Akasha. Is that what he's saying, trying to say there?
Correct. So that's correct. So yeah, Akashad Vayu, Vayor Agni, Agnerapah, Adhyah Prithvi. So everything in this universe is made of Panchabhuta.
So it's present in Akasha also. Yeah, I mean, Agni's component is there in Akasha. Akasha is everywhere.
Everywhere. And so Agni has to be, even Prithvi is everywhere. But it is hard to, because we look for Prithvi, something solid.
Correct.
So that Prithvi example can't be, it's not a good example. Okay. And so Agni example is given.
So that is the first visible, recognizable form.
Yes, Agni.
Akasha and Vayu are not visibly recognizable.
Not visible. So they say Agni Sakshi. Agni Sakshi.
I was also thinking on the same lines, Guruji. I was thinking like functionality, if you want to say that Atma, though it doesn't act, it can be, it is obvious when you see the functions, like when something is sentient, we say Atma is present, it's easy to connect. So maybe if fire is mentioned in that sense, otherwise that Ghatakasha and that example is also there. So as though Pravishta, it is easy to understand when you are explaining a functionality. You look at that and you say, okay, it is alive. But Akasha will not serve that purpose, even though it is all compassing. You don't see the functionality in Akasha. So Bahihi anyways is no functionality, so Akashavat.
Correct. Functionality means what? Perception. Something, a form must be there.
Yeah, correct.
Recognizable.
You are not able to perceive it.
Right. Yeah, correct. Correct. Because anyway, you have Gata Kasha, all Akashas are there.
All Akashas there. So you can't use the same example when you are explaining something which is perceived. So fire has been used, I thought, in the same sense.
Right. Fire. In fact, next, what is the next mantra? Did you see any of you looked at the next mantra?
No.
Okay. Swapna says yes.
Vayu. Vayu. Vayu Gonam.
Now it's easy to understand Vayu Pravishta.
Yeah. Next mantra is a ditto of this current mantra.
Yeah.
Only one word is different. He replaced by Vayu.
It has been constantly emphasized, as you said, from that Pura, like a gates and functionality of the, and it is still not, we are not able to take it. What makes it? I mean, when you are thinking something Pravishta, then we will think, what is the container made of? If something is entering into something, then the container has to be made of something.
Correct.
So then again, is trying to re-emphasize, like it's as though Iva.
Yeah, you were. Otherwise, what will happen? The container is different from what has entered into it.
Correct.
It's the problem with many of the examples. Is entering means suddenly the problem will come.
Yeah.
There is something already there into which this thing is entering.
Correct.
So that's how it is. Because how else do you?
So when it comes, it boils down to Iva is only understanding. It is actually nothing entering or living.
Yes. So Taittiriya Upanishad very famous. Anupravesha Shruti is there. Tadevanupravishat tadanupravishya satyatyaccha bhavat niruptancha niruptancha. So it seems Atma created the world and then entered the world. Kya baat hai? This is called Anupravesha Shruti. And so
If it entered.
the way of saying it, it's a way of saying. That means that Vivartatvam is there. Everybody knows Parinami Upadana Karan. Everybody knows the Karanam and Karyam are different. Pot maker and pot are entirely different. Pot maker and clay also entirely different. But to negate that, Atma created the world, Ishvara created the world and entered the world. That is what Shastra is. Means what? The world is not separate from Ishvara. That is why Anupravesha Sruti. God, very interesting. That means you can't say God is out there, world is out here. That idea negated by that Anupravesha Sruti. Abhinna nimitta vivarta upadana karanam.
But will not confuse people who only go through that, against Advaita Vedanta, like as if it is, somebody who is not studying Advaita Vedanta, so if we just go through that will give the understanding, right, differently. That it is created and then God entered into that.
God created the world. Then he decided, my God, I love this creation. It's much better than Vaikunta. Therefore, I want to live in this world. Correct? That's what they're saying. If that is the case, then I will ask them, why are you then going to Vaikuntha? It is empty. It's because it's empty. Is it available for rent? Is that why you are going to Vaikuntha? I thought you wanted to see God there. You're now saying, no, God is here, but you want to go there. What is this? Yeah, nice game. We should have, Meera, all of you should think of a drama where the children are just playing with this. The dialogues, you have to give them, and then the audience will be mesmerized by it. Now comes the Vishnadvaiti. Then challenge. All these people can challenge each other. Nobody will win, but they just keep on challenging. Just a couple of ideas like that. Yeah. Why are you here, God, Vishnu, when you are supposed to be in Vaikuntha? Isn't it ridiculous? Suppose I die now, I go to Vaikuntha. You won't be there? You will be disappointing me? Some argument like this. Oh. Anyway, Ramuji, go ahead, please.
Just talking about the example of a Drishtanda and a mirror. In Narayana Guru, the revolutionary teacher of the 20th century, he established a temple in the 1920s in Kerala, which has a mirror as the Pratishta. Like Swami Chinmayananda put the board of Tattvamasi in Shabarimala. This has a idol is the mirror. You see yourself.
See yourself. Narayana Guru, right? Yeah, so this is in Shabarimala, is it? No, it's another temple. Another temple in Kerala.
He established
Hmm.
because no Brahmins were objecting to his establishing temples and all these things because that temple entry was denied and all these things. So he then somebody has said that he had established Irava Shiva. Irava Shiva means the low caste Shiva.
Local Shiva.
Low caste Shiva. Irava
Low
means
caste Shiva. Oh.
Heva is a community in Kerala.
community, backward
Ah,
caste Shiva, not a Brahmin Shiva. Like that.
not
So
a Brahmin Shiva.
to avoid all that, he established. He was a great Advaitin. His complete works are super things.
Yeah. Poor Shiva. He never thought he will become a
Yeah.
Brahmin. And then once he became a Brahmin, then he became lower caste also.
He was a greatest revolutionary thinker and who talked only of Advaita.
You know, that mirror idea is there. I've seen it here also. It is caught on. And Tattvamasi also. Now they put both mirror and Tattvamasi together.
In many
Yeah.
temples also, behind that light which is kept in it is called Prabhamandalam. They have the mirror behind it.
Yeah.
In the temples, many temples they have that. It's called Prabhamandalam. The light is there. Behind that, the mirror will be there.
Reflecting that light. Yeah.
We have during Vishu Guruji that we see the mirror. We look at ourselves in the mirror when the year starts. We have that celebration of Vishu. We keep a mirror and then keep all the all green things and everything what you would like to see. And first thing we see ourselves in the mirror.
Right.
That also could be because Tattvamasi. I mean, what you're looking for is you yourself.
Very, very brilliant it is. In the ashram, they do it all the time. And here also, in many places, they keep a mirror there. So you're supposed to come and look at it. In the puja room also, they put a mirror. And that's a good tradition. Very good tradition. That is the one that connects the self with the Ishvara,
Yes.
not different. But I don't know why it happens on Vishu Day. Beginning of the year, I think. I think that something like
This is a New Year day.
Maybe to re-emphasize that look for yourself and know yourself first.
It's very good.
So basically, you are seeing whatever you want to see in that year or in the future. So you keep all the good things, plus you keep yourself.
So you are the first priority. You have that in you, then look at other things.
So you keep gold, you keep coins, you keep whatever, yellow coconut, banana, all those fruits, flowers,
All symbols of prosperity put there.
rice, dal, salt.
Advaiti will read Advaita into it.
Correct.
People will
The
read other things.
eldest person is supposed to give money also to
Money also.
who comes the Vishukani.
You are receiving also.
Very good. Nice discussion. A lot of chat messages. What is all this? Time is not the first experience. Oh, time is not the first experience. It is a second. Therefore, the measurement of time is called second. Wow. It's so profound. We have Abhimana in fifth kosha, meaning we worry too much about our dress. That's a good one. Dress kosha, Vastra kosha. Let's see. Trikarana Shuddhi. Shrutir Mata Layaf Pita is the adage in respect to music. Oh, Mata Layaf. I see. Putro Jayeta Kwachidabi Kumata Nabhavati. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om
Then you